welcome back with Our Healer, Our Protector with Ryan Reichert and Lisa Sander. We have Niko Arapkiles from Phoenix, Arizona, and Vision Espresso. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, honored to be here. What a cool setup, and just grateful for all this.
Well, we're super blessed with Broadcaster Authority, the amazing team that Tamara and Danielle have. It's just a blessing to be part of everything with them and make us look good and make you look good. So we're good to go. But yeah, it's so cool after getting to know you a little bit in the last 10, 15 minutes and realize, where you're going with, Vision Espresso and, all the cool things that you guys are doing over there. Would you just give us a little bit of background and kind of how you got here today?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, just grateful to be here. What a cool experience this is. So shout out to Tamara and Danielle. So in terms of like how I got here, it's a wild, interesting story that I'll condense. One of the biggest things for me was when I played baseball in college. And so my mom gave me a copy of the book, The Secret, when I was 18. And so it just started embedding these things pretty early on, and I would practice them too. And I would have direct experience and feedback on if they were working. So like I would visualize seeing myself hitting home runs off the scoreboard, and then it would happen. And it was just like, okay, maybe that was coincidence, but it happened. I visualized that, I saw it, I felt it, and then it actually happened. It's kind of hard to deny that. And so it just continued on. But like the thing is I was very inconsistent in my practice. So I was like, well, how could I create something that's, help me be more consistent in my practice and actually help me feel? Because when I would see myself hitting home runs off the scoreboard, like I would feel it. I would get chills because I was like, my baseball was my everything. And then like with other things, I wouldn't get that same chill. So I was like, maybe I could create something that helped me with that. And that was when I was like 20 years old, and then it was a long journey till here, 37. But yeah, that was really I just realized how powerful our minds were, and it was something so much bigger than us. I was like, there's something, I got to tap into this. And I gone through a whole journey of entrepreneurship, marketing, and agencies and stuff like that. But I always kind of knew deep down I was ready to, turn this into my career and really help people in a way that I experienced in a very powerful way back when I was younger.
I love that you are doing this at 37. Like we being older, 46 and 51. I love if we could help the younger generation get there sooner than we are. And I know it comes with life experience and all the stuff that comes up amongst our life. But if we could get the younger generation to get there sooner, that would be amazing. They've been through a lot. They've been through COVID, and that hit a lot of children of anxiety, fear, leaving their environment, worrying about people dying. Those are real stuff that is still happening with our children. I see it in my own kids and my nieces and nephews and some of them. So if you could just express like in a fast espresso way of how we can maybe get that younger generation to have the vision that there is more to life and get the fear out of our ways.
Yeah, it's interesting how you bring this up, because it's been coming up in my awareness and conversations a fair bit lately of like, how do we help the younger generations? Because obviously I don't know personally, but I don't think it's really an easy life to be a kid right now. And I had some pretty powerful conversations lately about how challenging it is. And I've always just known that the way you're raised and the household that you're in has such a big impact, because that's when your subconscious is really being solidified. And so I was very blessed to grow up in a very loving household. My parents are still together to this day, and I just thought that was normal. And there was so much love, and it was very God-centered. And as I've grown up and got to meet a lot more people, that's the rarity.
Yeah.
And so, we talked about that quote that I heard a while back: when you live intentionally, nothing is random. And so I think the earlier that we can live intentionally, it helps us a lot, because, if we're not, and there's not a lot of love in the household, and then it creates these thoughts, and that's where everything starts, and that's where the intentionality starts, these thoughts. But if those are these imposed thoughts that aren't serving the younger generation, come in at early in their childhood, then it just continues to perpetuate their entire life. So what if we were able to help the younger generation get more intentional, have really good thoughts in their minds early on, and what that could see flourishing moving forward. So I'm definitely on that wave and figuring out how do we actually create stuff that can implement into the younger generations.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some research over the last, well, obviously 46 years in life, but, it's one of those with our thoughts, just like you're saying, the average person has, 12 to 60,000 thoughts a day.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, 85% are negative and 95% are repetitive. So with that, when we see it, I grew up Catholic. And so for me, our God was, a damning, punishing God from that side of things. And, when I hear you say love, like today, that's the way I look at it. As a born again Christian, follower of Jesus Christ, it's, all about love and the positivity. And now it's like, if you think small, you're going to get small. If you have the positive thoughts, I mean, you guys are developed your software or app and so forth, right? And to that end, that's what you guys are trying to do, is like project, a community through, some answers and questions and so on and so forth, right? Like,
it's quite fascinating when people go through the entire process. I've been saying this I probably just got to do it at some point, but like we got to track how many people cry after they listen to it.
Yeah.
Because I would say it's probably like 60 to 70%
Right.
of people. And, at the end of the audio, it says their name. I love you. I love who you are. I love who you've always been. And I love who you're constantly becoming. And I think that's the line that really hits it. I mean, the whole thing is pretty wild, but the ending part where that line comes in from your future self in your voice, telling that they love you. Like I've had people that have said, like, I've never heard that. I've never especially felt that too. Like I've had people like tell me that, but I didn't necessarily feel it. But like when you really feel that love, I mean, it's you and I, I'm very empathetic. And so I feel like God has blessed me with that, and I'm able to feel people, and I'm able to feel that type of love. But I just realized what a gift that is, and then also how many people have not had that and experienced that gift. But I think, like, again, coming back to my story, just what I've experienced is like once you experience something, once you feel something, it's hard to deny it from that point on. And I think I'm just even as these thoughts are coming out is like, I think people just haven't felt love, so they don't know how to give love, and then they're guarded and protected, and they have the walls up, and then they don't want to get hurt, so then they hurt. I just always say like hurt people hurt people.
Oh, that's a slogan of slogans of ours.
Yeah.
You just as a recovering addict and alcoholic, it's one where I never told myself, one, I never forgave myself for anything that I ever did, and two, I never told myself, like, I love you, Ryan. My oldest daughter, I would always text, love you. And when you don't put I in front of it, like it misses it. The target here, you're landing over here because it's not intentional. It's kind of like, hey, Niko, as opposed to I love you, Niko. And, that's where it really, so it's so cool that you guys have developed that to like have it in your, your future self. So it, we talked about earlier, it brings all of it that much faster in such a way when we manifest and we visualize, where do we want to be? And if it's always in the ditch or in a valley or wherever, I mean, a dark place, we never are able to grasp, that future self of what we're looking for. And, it's this powerful. I got sitting here like just
me too.
Massive amounts of
and
energy.
It's not egotistical to say I love you. I think people have I shouldn't say that. Like, I've always believed in God since I was a little girl. And I don't know where this came from, but I've told my daughter Grace, I've had her sit in front of the mirror and say, I love myself. I love you, Grace. I love how smart I am. I love how I'm good to others. And I've done that with myself. And if other people heard me saying that, they might be like, oh, who do you think you are? But I have done that. There's been times in my life I've been bullied at work, and I would talk to myself in the car and say, God, I know you have me. I am loved. I love myself. I'm a good person. it is so important to put those positive affirmation into your head about yourself so you can be good to others. And all I can explain why I've been that way is God. I have loved him so much, and I have given myself to him. And I wish my own kids could feel what I feel with that. I've taught them. I've guided them through Jesus Christ. And I hope that they get to where I'm at and what I feel and how he's helped me. And I wish I could teach people how to do that. It's hard to describe.
I resonate with what you're saying, and it immediately gets me thinking about my mom. And I can like feel the same, probably the way that she felt about, because I told you that I kind of like tailed off for a little while. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like I went out down a dark path, but it wasn't like as committed as she would have liked me to have. And I could tell that case. But like, I would just say the thing that my mom did, and she's just amazing. I can't speak more highly about a human being. But she would just always give me these like subtle nudges. She would just send me little things. She would never be overbearing, being like, hey, you gotta do this. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I recognized in her, and how like she just was able to do it so diligently, where she would just, and specifically she would pray for me.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I know that's not groundbreaking or anything, but like I've just had actually a lot of women in my life, like my mom, my aunt, my grandma, like, and come to find out, like a bunch of other like people I've met too, that they've like, hey, I just wanted you to know I've been praying for you. So it's like, you know, God is going to be, he's the one that's controlling it all.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
We can't, I was talking to my friend the other day and said, you can't expect you out of others. So just because it's your path, that doesn't mean it's their path. And the more that we try and control it, it's just an illusion of control at the end of the day anyways. So we can either surrender, or we can, because there's I don't know if you heard about this. This has been very helpful for me recently, but Mel Robbins, she has this concept of let them.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
love it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
it's
almost
so
done
good.
with her book.
And the way I've kind of perceived it is like, are you choosing peace, or are you choosing illusion of control? Because that's what it is. Like if you're trying to control your children, you're trying to get them to come back to Jesus, or you're trying to get them to like dive in. Like it's just an illusion. Like you wouldn't be able to control them because God's got it all taken care of anyways. All you can do is just, I heard this too, is like, this was an interesting quote, was like, don't read the word, be the word.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's when, because I resonate with you deeply, Lisa, because there's been so many times like people that are the closest to me, I want to help them the most, but they're the most resistant to me.
Yes.
And the more I push, the more it pushes them away.
Mm-hmm.
And so and it's interesting because then at certain points, sometimes it's those people, sometimes not, but like the way that I've helped people the most, you know, really tap into themselves and God, is just being who I am, and being like going and showing it, not like saying, hey, you need to do this. It's just like they'll recognize it when they're ready, when they see it. But the more that you try and control, it's just like it's like one of those things where you like, it's just like you think it's there, but it's gone.
Yeah.
My son told me I was this hero, and I am, but getting a divorce, I think it brought me down a notch. And our kids don't know like that we're human beings too, and all the sacrifices that we make for our children, because my children came first, and that is why I stayed with their dad for 17 more years, because I put them first. And I don't know, in my belief in Christian, I want people to be married. I want them to save their marriages, and there are people that truly try, and it's not for them to save. And believing in God, like the 40 people walked around 40 years in the Bible to get out of the wilderness, and they always had the door open. Well, I walked around for 17 more years, and I knew there was a way out, but the way out that I was doing was not going to work. And in order for me to flourish and live God's purpose, I had to open that door and walk away. And someday I pray that my kids understand that. And I love them so much, and I want to be their hero, but I'm a flawed hero.
We're all flawed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, let's not go down that road in this episode.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I mean, poster child right here, so it's all good. You know, definitely from that side. What I love so much, though, is as we sit and talk about our parents, Niko, I'm the same way with my mother. I mean, she's, you know, St. Marilyn, you know, if there is one. And yeah, she, you know, she was a school teacher for 40 plus years and so forth. And just having that, you know, piece of it. We used to say, I was in the military, you know, you can't put in what God leaves out to people. And a lot of time it was like a joke of like the guy that wasn't the fastest or maybe not the smartest or whatever, you know, we use it in such a condescending way. But just what you just talked about, like really hit on the head to me now when I think of that, you know, quote, slogan or whatever is really is, he's not putting it into somebody because we need to show our love and our grace to that person or that individual and whatever is going on. And really, you know, that's that, all this back to, you know, Vision Espresso and just growing. Like how do we see that, I guess, evolving as you look to the future, you know, with your guys' company and everything?
Yeah, I mean, we have a big vision and mission for all this. You know, it's interesting because, you know, unless we continue to embody being the visionary and always keeping that, like the brand kind of dissolves if we're not holding that integrity. And so it's like I get to be the product of the product. So I'm always updating my vision, updating the company vision. We've started creating visions for companies as well. That's another one of like our back end offers where we actually have like everybody in the company and all their team members make their Vision Espressos as that adheres to the company vision. So that's what we're doing inside of our company as well. But you know, our big vision is one of the things. I just see this as, I asked myself this question. I was just like, hypothetically, like what if everybody in the world had a Vision Espresso? Like what would that actually do? And I just think if everyone woke up to that, their future self telling them how amazing they are, how much they love them, like what kind of shifts would happen in this world?
Oh, big
so it's just like, all right, well, how do we get there? So like that's a big vision of it, like to have millions of people and have it like a very like a scalable app where we have it where literally millions of downloads. That's really probably the biggest North Star. On top of that, we've also partnered with a vibroacoustic bed company, which is quite interesting. It's these beds that have like all these speakers in it, and then you lay down on it and then you listen to your Vision Espresso on it. So not only are you hearing it and feeling it through like the emotional music and everything in it, but then you're laying on this bed that like it pulsates through.
Wow.
So we're really excited about that. We're building a community around all of this. Eventually we've done a lot of events. We have a podcast called Just Grow. We started that like 4 years ago and we did it in an events format. So we do it in front of a live audience. So we're probably going to eventually somehow we're going to merge Vision Espresso with live podcasting. And coming from my baseball story, I've always had this vision to do it in a baseball stadium.
Oh, I love it.
So it's Chase Field, downtown Phoenix, holding 50,000 people. There's another one in Old Town Scottsdale, holds about like 10,000 people. So those are kind of like some of the visions, but you know, God will unveil them all. And so we're just starting, and then we just developed a new process that you guys started going through, is where you can sample out the app. So we offer that for free, just as people can come and you know, get a little taste, experience it, because it's a very experiential product. I can explain it, and even I've had friends that are like, they love everything I'm doing, and then once they do it, they're like, oh,
Connects.
I get it. I get it now. So yeah, that's a little bit of the vision and really what we're focused on over the next few years.
Oh, I love it, because I just think about the healing, you know, seeing your guys' connection, healing through, you know, your love for your mother's love for you, and then Lisa as a mother and her love for, you know, her children. And I just think about his love for all of us and how that's what it comes down to. And, you know, everything that you guys are doing, you know, over there at Vision Espresso is healing all of us through love and frequency and sound, and how important that can be. I have a saying always, it's, you know, we have two ears and one mouth. You know, so I make the joke of, you know, listen first so you don't allow stupid to fall out. And but from your guys' side of the street, it's more just listening to, you know, the sound and so forth, and how that heals you. And so if we listen to others, we can also heal that way, because this thing can hurt a lot of folks as well.
And being a man, what a great leader you are and an influence, because there's a lot of baseball players out there. What an impact you can make on boys in sports, and of course other people. But I think that is like, that's your passion, and it can show younger people to get there. Because at 37, it's so awesome that you're doing this. A lot of people start their vision and their mission after age 40. And if you can help people get there at a younger age, what an impact and the shift that would make in our life existence, and shift to have our world change. Because our world always needs changing. It needs to get better.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I guess one other thing I'll chime in on too is, like, I've been reading the Bible a lot more lately, and you know, someone even asked me, like, okay, I love what you're doing, it's cool, but like, what's even like what? Why are you doing all this? And the thing that just came to me in that moment is like, this is helping people get closer to God in my way.
Yeah.
You know, obviously there's a lot of different ways, and you know, it was funny because like one of my favorite scriptures is Proverbs 29:18. Without vision, the people perish. But I looked into it a little bit deeper, and I have an NASB Bible, and it said, without vision, the people are unrestrained, which basically means they lack self-control, moral discipline, and something of that nature. Where it's like, they're not going to have the discipline, they're not going to have the self-control, they're not going to have the moral boundaries if they're not clear on who they are, who they're becoming, where they're going. And I just think about how there's, you know, a lot of people out there that are just drifting in the wind right now because they don't know who they are. They don't know where they're going.
Right.
And if we can help people get a little bit closer to that, it's like,
Discipline's important. If you can wake up and start with a discipline, reading the Bible, meditating, and grounding yourself for the day before you get started. For a long time, because of the hours I work as a nurse, 12 hours, I get up at 6 a.m., I'm out the door at 6:30. It doesn't always work good to do that.
and that's why we wanted to make this a very short practice, right? 6 minutes a day to stepping into your highest self.
Yeah, I mean, it's we could talk about this stuff for hours. We're definitely connected here, and you know, we'll give Niko the last word, you know, because we got to close it out. And so, you want to tell everybody where they can find their Vision Espresso and connect with you and the team?
Yeah, definitely. VisionEspresso.co is our website where you can go check out the free sample and get your little taste of the Vision Espresso. Vision Espresso, like the coffee. Some people say espresso, but it's just with the S. And then Instagram is one of the best places for me. My name is NikoArapkiles. And then we're starting to build out some different communities as well on the back end. I've got some friends that are helping us build some pretty interesting things. So yeah, that's kind of what we got cooking.
Well, thank you, sir.
Much.
So
Thank you.
everybody out there, check out Niko and his team over at Vision Espresso, and make sure to hit the subscribe button for us here at Our Healer, Our Protector with Ryan and Lisa. And you can also get us on all of the social medias, Lisa Sander or Ryan T. Reichert or Army RT 1978. So we love you guys. Have a great day.